Hey, what's up, everybody? This is honestly one of the most exciting pieces of news I've heard in a long time from Quasar, and that is the new Vite plugin. You know, it's kind of nuts because Razvan went on a holiday for a little bit. He comes back, and then we get the Quasar Vite plugin. Honestly, the guy is just a machine. So ridiculously excited. So, why is this particularly exciting? Well, for those of you that don't know, Vite allows you to basically get a server up and running in virtually no time. And by the way, I haven't tested this at all. I'm just going to test it live with all of you. So hopefully it all works fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started and see how everything turns out. So I'll get my console up here and let's move over to the docs. If you want to embed Quasar in your existing Vite project, then follow this. So you can do it in an existing Vite project. If you've already got one and you just want to start using some of Quasar's components, you can go ahead and do that. What our Vite plugin offers out of the box is tree shaking for Quasar and also Quasar Sass variables integration. All right. So currently you can't do SSR builds. That's totally fine, at least for me. And it's not support for right to left. All right, cool. So let's just move down a little bit here. And it looks like we can just easily create a template using Yarn. So let's go ahead and do that. Create Vite, my view app. Probably should have named it something a little bit more descriptive, but that's fine. Let's just go into my dash view dash app, open that in code, give that a second to open up. Here we go. It's opened up my other screen there. All right, very nice. So what next? Navigate to your Vite. Oh, this is installation. All right, the separate steps. Okay, so that was literally just Vite specific stuff. It had nothing to do with Quasar. So now we navigate to our Vite project and install necessary dependencies. All right, so we're just adding the Quasar extras. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we add the Vite plugin itself and Sass. I think that's literally it. Just those 2 lines of code there. So let's give this a second to run. Oh man, I'm so excited. If I can just run this and then I've got, you know, all my Quasar goodness available to me literally within milliseconds. I don't even know what I'm going to do with that excitement. So let's run that command. We have built a configurator to help you get started as quickly as possible. Okay, so this allows you to basically easily drop in some code that gives you all the goodness as well. So let's just say I like using MDI icons, so I'll tick MDI icons and auto import component case. Yeah, kebab case is what I like to use there as well. What's this config object? Okay, so this is how you can edit the Quasar config. You can literally just do it inline like that. So I think I will enable that in case there's any stuff that I want to change there as well. This is really cool. It makes it super easy. So now in main.js, let's just copy that. I've already got this open in code, don't I? Yeah, let's jump into main.js. And can I just paste it in there? Did it also add all the... Yeah, it also added all the create app stuff. So you can literally overwrite that and save it. All right, what else can we do? Now, vite.config.js. I don't know if this is one that you override as well. Let's have a look. Vite.config.js. So it's got export default define config. Yeah, all right, so it's done that again. So you can literally just paste over that. And then your variables as well, which is going to be your colors that you start off with. So that's source quasar variables.sass source, and we have to create that file. Quasar-variables.sass, and then we can just whack those in directly there. And there we go. So I think now that that's all done, I can just run, what do you do, like yarn dev? Oh my gosh. I think that was it. That's it. Okay, so here we go. Let's have a little play here now. So we'll jump out of full screen. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. So I got my dev server running, and if I jump into, where's this coming from? So that's our app.view file. Let's get rid of all of this stuff here. So I can just check that I'm in the right spot. Yep, here we go. And I wonder if I've got the Quasar variables. Let's just try q-page, I guess. And one thing I often like to do is just center things. So let's say class is equal to flex and flex-center. And then maybe some text in there. Did that work? All right, maybe not. I've done something wrong. reading header. So let's just try doing a div and putting a card in there. Q-card. Oh, that seems to be working. Yeah, right. So the card works. Oh, I think you need to have a layout in order to get that going. So let's jump into Quasar's layout creator. I just want to see if all of this is going to work together. I think they've got like a layout creator as well here somewhere. Actually, it's probably in tools. It's just, yeah, here we go, layout builder. I will have a header. I'm going to basically have nothing else. Okay, let's say left side draw because usually people do want to have one of those. There we go. I'm not going to bother messing around with that. So let's export that layout. We'll go copy, and then I'll come in here, and then we'll just create a new file for that. So let's go. Oh, my phone's gone off. 1 second. Stop that. Oh, got an updated alarm screen happening for my my phone now. I must be using the new design theme on my Android device now. Anyway, okay, so now that that's working, let's go new folder layout. So now that it's not a Quasar specific project, we'll have to make this file ourselves. And let's just call this main layout.view. We're going to whack that directly in there. So we've got a layout that we can start messing around with. And now I think I might be able to come in here and say main dash, what is it? Hang on, main layout like that. And it's going to auto import because everything always works really nicely out of the box with Vite. And there we go. We got a layout. So I've got something funky going on here with the menu. That's because it might be because of my icon library that I'm using, because I told it to use the MDI icon library. Yeah, there we go. So that is actually working. So I'm going to go to my main layout and change that icon to MDI-menu, because that's the one that I like to use. There we go. I've got that menu icon now. And let's get rid of this thing at the top. And we'll just have a plain toolbar with nothing in it. And there we go. So it looks like that's mostly working. Okay, router view, that doesn't exist yet. So now what we'll do is go ahead and create a... Oh, so I don't know how you would now start doing this. Router view... Oh, honestly, I can't remember how that works. So I do have to do a little bit of extra work. So this will definitely warrant its own tutorial series, I think. So we'll say view router here. I want to understand how router view works. Usually Quasar handles all of this for me. Router dash view. So what does this do? Is a functional component that renders the match component for the given. Okay, then you need to use view router and say what the page is. Yep, okay, I remember now. So I don't know if we're even using view router, so that's probably not going to work. No, it's not. All right, so let's just keep things simple for now. And we'll take all of this layout here. So obviously you do a whole bunch of like extracting here, but I want to keep this stream really short. And we'll just paste that directly in there. And instead of having router view, I'll now say q-page. And then we'll say class is equal to flex and flex dash center like that. Q-card, and imagine that this is a login. So q-card dash section, and then you'd have q-input, and then you'd say, for example, name, and then you probably model some data there. So v-model is equal to form.name, and I guess we'll just come up here and have a ref, which is just going to be an object. So we'll say const form is that ref. And there we go. So now we can say form.name and then form.password. We'll put in password here. I just want to get something quick up and running to see if it all works nicely. And then the type is equal to password. Save it. Do we get a linter by default here? No, we don't get a lint file, so I'd have to set that up as well. Which is what you'd expect, really. Like, you don't want Quasar to do too much here. It's just a plugin to start using it with Vite. It's not trying to do everything, which is not what you want with something like a Vite plugin. All right, what else here? QPage container is not defined. All right, so Oh, QPage container. What's that? Oh, that's something that's part of Q layout. All right. So anyway, I'll look into that a little bit later on. It looks like it's not doing things the way that I thought it would. Raspberry might have even wrote about that in the documentation, and I just missed it. That sounds like something I'd do. Get a little bit too overzealous. So let's just change this from a page, I guess, to a div instead. Yep. All right. That's okay. Something that I can sort of dig into a little bit. Now let's change that to field. It's the design that I like to use. And then we can say, for example, class is equal to Q dash margin top dash medium. I'm so used to having the linter do all of this stuff for me. And there we go. So now let's, just to kind of like play around with this a little bit, let's close that down now. Run yarn dev again, and let's see how long this takes. And there we go. That's virtually instant. And I've got a Quasar project up and running. That's amazing. All right, what are some other things I can throw in there? Let's try a more complex component, like a QTable component. And what's that website? TypeCode. Let's basically just like yank some data from TypeCode. And I think you say like posts, for example, and that'll give you a bunch of posts. There we go. So there's an endpoint where I can grab some posts. So let's come in here. Oh, we don't have Axios. We'd have to add Axios. All right, let's just do that. Let's go yarn add Axios. And then when that's done, we're going to come in here and import Axios from Axios. And let's say const data is equal to, oh, we'll have to have like some async await thing. Okay, so let's go async function get data or something like that is equal to, basically I'm just going to pull some data from that website displayed in a table. So that's going to be equal to await, and we'll say const data.value is equal to await, and then we'll say axios.get, and then we'll type in that TypeCode URL. Let me just hide that so you've got a little bit more room to play around with. Yeah, and then what I'll do is I'll just set data equal to a ref here. And there we go. And that'll just be an empty array by default. What do we get from this endpoint again? Let me just double check that. We get an array, so that's good. And then we say data.value. What's wrong there? Expected a comma, async await function. Oh, I put a const in there. Data.value is equal to that. All right, so that should work now. Let's go to the table here, and we'll say data is not in 2, it's row, I'm pretty sure. So we can say row is equal to data.value. I think that's it. Give that a quick refresh. All right, that's actually not working for me. So let's open up the console and we'll just dive in here and see what we're getting on app here. Is it making the request? Oh, I'm not even calling that function. Ha, that might have something to do with it. And then we'll just call this function. There we go. How about that? And still no data. So let's come back here again. Oh, it wouldn't be rows, it would be rows plural. It would be rows plural, wouldn't it? Okay, so I need to say data.data to get what I need out of that. Otherwise, I get the config. All right, so let's say get data.value is equal to, or we'll say response is equal to that. And then I can come down here and say data.value is equal to response.data. There we go. So that's going to give me the data, and it should be rows plural there. So let's give that a try. And see what else I've done wrong. All right, so data is being modeled correctly there. I just need to make sure, I guess I'm doing the right thing to get this component displaying correctly. Let's say Get out of that. Let's look for QTable and just look at a basic implementation of that. Pretty sure you don't even need to add in columns though. It'll automatically kind of figure it out for you. But we can add them in if we need to. So here is some basic usage. It is rows and you just pass through the data. We'll give it a row key, and I guess we will give it some columns if that's not going to work, or we just give it the label in the field, something like that. So rows, row key will be equal to ID. I believe they give you an ID. Give that a quick refresh, and then we'll just say columns is equal to columns. And I can come in here and just quickly whack out some columns is equal to an object. And what do we get from that post endpoint? We'll just take a couple of those values. Let's say title and body. Let's go with that. This is kind of weird. I'm showing it in a table, but whatever. So you've got, oh no, columns isn't an array of objects from memory. Yeah. So you've got label equals to something like title. And then we'll say the field is equal to title as well. Let's just see if that works. No data available. We're still getting that weird warning sign as well, and that's because I haven't set up the icon library properly yet. But what am I doing wrong there? I don't think I have to say dot value here. Oh, maybe just because I'm saying dot value. Oh, whoops. I was so used to putting dot value, but now with script setup, you don't have to anymore. So now let's try getting rid of those columns again. Save it, and there we go. We've got our table with all of the data in there as well. Now, one thing I want to know is how easy is it to set it up now and change the default? I'm getting messages from the Quasar team there. I think they're all very excited about all of this. But how do I change the default library? I just got to remember how to do that in Quasar conf. So maybe I'll put in config here, because that's going to be important to teach as well, to let people know how to change that. You know what? I might go into a recent project I've been working on. So like the Quasar to Firebase one. I'll have to open new. So cd Quasar to dash Firebase, I think it is. Yeah, there we go. And let me just look at the config there, because I know I changed the icon set, I believe is what it is. So we'll go to quasar.conf icon set. This basically changes what's done behind the scenes to set the icons. So for a lot of Quasar's default icons, it's now going to grab them from the MDI version 5 library. That's what this is basically saying. So that sits under framework. Is framework nested in anything? No, it looks like it's directly in the return there. So I might be able to come in here. Let's jump into our main.js. And we've got here config. Oops. Did that work? Yeah, I'm going to close that out and close that out. I don't want any of those plugins. I just want to change the icon set. And I think we're using MDI version 6 now. Yeah, MDI version 6. That might work. Maybe that's all I had to do. Well, let's have a look. There, looks like the icons are still the same. I do still have to refresh every now and then. But I think that's a Vite thing. I'm not sure that's a Quasar thing. Yeah, right. I might have to do some extra digging to figure out what I'm doing wrong there. Or does it just sit directly on there? Like this, perhaps. No, it looks like that doesn't work. So, and it is under config, isn't it? Yes, it looks like here you return an object. Icon set. Okay, no, it's nested in framework. Okay, hang on. So framework. Then we'll throw icon set directly into there like that. All right, so let's give that a crack. And do a quick refresh. All right, so that's not working. I'm doing something wrong. So how about for now, we actually we remove the MDI version 6 library? No, because even with that removed, it's not working. All right, so I need to figure out how to change the icon set. I'm going to take a note of that as well. But yeah, apart from that, it looks like all of the components are pretty much working fine, which is exciting. And it's a ridiculously fast developer experience. But this is good. It's given me, I'm just going to create a text document of some of the things we've picked up here. Changing the icon set, using layouts and pages, and what other problems did we run into? That was pretty much it from memory. Oh, HMR. So let's maybe put a question mark of whether or not that's going to be possible. And maybe they say something about HMR here. Whoops, whack my mouse away. And what are they saying here? When building a production manager, you can safely ignore it. Okay, that's fine. And yeah, okay, so maybe actually let's try bringing in material icons here. So it looks like you just bring it in directly like that and see if that solves this problem temporarily. And we'll change the icon library to that. I can get out of this now. No, don't save. I don't think I did anything. So we'll go in here and change that to bringing in material icons library. And there we go. Now that's working. So that tells me that the problem here, what's this? Need to sleep here in UK, but keep up the great work. Luke, we'll rewatch later. Oh, thanks, Will. All the way from the UK. How cool is that? Yeah, so that's the one thing I really want to figure out, how to change the icon library for now. But apart from that, I think people are definitely going to want to know, oh, put a G in there. People are definitely going to want to know how to use layouts and pages. People will definitely want to know about routing as well. They'll basically want to say, hey, how do I do a basic Quasar-esque setup when I'm using the Vite plugin? And so we basically, I want to be able to show people how to get that going, so that they get basically all of these beautiful benefits of using Vite, but just for doing something like an SPA or a PWA. Or maybe you want to drop in other stuff like Tailwind, or maybe you want to use Quasar with Nuxt. So now that we've got this plugin, using Quasar components with Nuxt is going to be ridiculously easy, because I'm pretty sure Nuxt is going to support Vite. And I get this question all the time: how do I integrate Quasar with Nuxt? And now I'm going to be able to answer that question. However, it did say in the docs that SSR isn't currently working, but that almost certainly means that it will sometime soon. So Quasar Vite plugin are not supported yet. All right. I would assume that a lot of the components might still work. It's just going to be like some edge cases that aren't going to work with that. Yeah. All right. That'll do for now. Quasar Vite is working. It is live. It's a thing. Let me know what you all think, and if there's any other stuff that you want me to test out in the next stream, or there's stuff you want to know about and you want me to teach when I do a tutorial series on this, then please let me know. Maybe hit me up on Discord. Let me find my Discord thing so that you guys can easily find me on that. I'm just opening that on my left screen here, and I'll paste it on the screen. I'll probably paste it in the description as well. Yep, there it is. I've copied it there. So this is my Discord. Hit me up there if you have any questions at all. If you just want to have a chat about Quasar-related stuff, check out quasarcast.com if you love these kinds of videos, especially like my cleaner stuff. This is just like a quick and dirty live stream. And thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I'll see you in the next one.